Hey friends, as you can see I have Redmi Note 7 Pro in front of me, and in this video I will be doing a long-term review of Redmi Note 7 Pro. So I'm using this phone for around more than 1 month now, and I was using this phone as a daily driver till today. I will be sharing my experience with this phone with you guys. So without wasting any further time, let's start. So first of all, let's talk about performance. And as we know that Redmi Note 7 Pro comes with Snapdragon 675, and it is a quite capable processor. It can do some pretty heavy gaming, it can open some pretty heavy apps in very less time, and it performs very nice. The issue with this phone is RAM management. This phone has 4 GB of RAM, and the management of the RAM is not as good as it should be. You can't open many apps in the background. So as you start opening more than 4 or 5 apps in the background, the apps which was opened earliest will get closed, and then you will tap that open again in the background and load it will load again. So the RAM management with this phone is not that good, especially if you are using heavy apps or games. So on the performance point of view, this phone is decent but not as good as it should be. The next thing is the battery. So as we know that the battery on this phone is 4000 mAh, and it performs very nice. It gives you quite a bit on screen time. So if you do some heavy gaming and you do open some heavy apps on a very regular basis, you will get around 7 to 8 hours of screen time. And if you are putting this phone on standby, it can go up to 2 to 3 days. When I was using this phone, I was playing some heavy games like PUBG or some other games which I have deleted as of now. Only PUBG is available, but I was playing around 2 to 3 heavy games like Asphalt 8 was also one of them, including PUBG, and I was getting around 7 to 8 hours of time, which is quite good time considering the battery. So the battery backup on this phone is quite good as compared to the previous Redmi Note phones. So the multitasking, as I told you already, multitasking is good but not as good as it should be. If you are playing only with 3 to 4 apps, it will be good, and if you will start loading more than 4 to 5 apps, the app that was loaded initially will get closed and you will have to reload that app to use. And if we talk about camera on the back, we have 48 megapixel sensor, and it is a quite nice camera. I must say that this is the best camera on any Redmi Note phone till now. You can capture some very nice with full of detail images, especially in the daylight. There is a night mode available which can also shoot very nice looking images, but they're not as sharp as they should be. But the camera on the daylight perform very nice. And if you talk about front camera is also quite good camera as compared to the previous generations, but still there is some noise available in the front camera. You have to take selfies in a pretty good light, otherwise the selfies won't come that clear as you would like to take. And if you know about Google camera, you can install the Google camera on this phone and you can take even better photos. As we know that Google camera can do very nice heavy software processing on a photo and make your photo look even better than the stock camera app. So if you have a Redmi Note 7 Pro, it is definitely recommended to use Google camera on this phone. I already have this Google camera installed on my phone, and believe me guys, it really makes some difference if you shoot videos or images with the Google camera on this phone. And the next thing I want to talk about is notch. So believe me or not, this is the ugliest notch I have ever seen on any phone. I have seen this kind of notch on other phones like OnePlus 60, which is also a water drop notch, and that notch looks quite good. But this notch is really the ugliest thing. I always wanted to hide this notch, but till date Xiaomi have not provided any option in the MIUI to hide this notch. So I had to go ahead and install a notch remover software which I can enable and hide the notch, and this way this phone looks a lot better. And if you have a Redmi Note 7 Pro and you want to hide the notch, you can use this software called Notch Remover. It is available on App Store as well as on the Google. You can just download the APK and install this software and your phone will look even better. And there is another disadvantage of this notch is that whenever you are playing some game like PUBG itself, and you will hold your phone like this and some of the controls will get hide. You will have to either rotate your phone other side to use this control, or you have to be with this notch. This notch covers some of the controls and sometimes it feels really annoying that why this notch coming in front of your control. So this is another disadvantage of this notch. And if we talk about speakers, the speaker on these phones are also decent. They are not stereo speakers, you have just one grill for the speakers, and speakers are quite loud, but they're not as good as the other smartphones. Obviously I'm comparing these speakers with the other high-end devices, but they're good for listening songs. But if you want to enjoy the quality of the song, you will have to use the headphones or some other Bluetooth speaker. And if we talk about battery charging, this phone gets charged in around 2 hours. If you plug it continuously, it can juice up your phone from 0 to 100 in around 2 hours. So you have fast charging on this, but not as fast as these days coming with other phones. So overall this phone is quite good. Considering the price of this phone, 14,000, this phone is quite decent. The best thing about this phone is gaming performance of this phone is really nice. I'm playing PUBG on this phone on regular basis, and believe me guys, the frame refresh rate is quite good, and the GPU on this phone is quite capable and can really perform nice in the games. I didn't face any lag till date. I'm using this phone for around last more than 1 month. So if you're looking for a phone just to play the games and some good photography, just go for this. This is the phone is made for gamers as well as normal photographers for regular photography. So I will definitely recommend this phone, and I hope you guys will like this phone as I like this phone. So this was a long-term review of this phone. I hope you guys like this. If you do like, hit like button, share this video with your friends, and do subscribe to this channel. So thank you very much. See you in the next. Bye bye.